What up, yo? Welcome to the 10 at no. Welcome to the 10-minute rise and grind. You know I had to open with a little humor. I am Tigress McDaniel, Queen Get Her Done, and we are diving back into strategic implementation planning. All right, we're going to just do a quick review, 10 minutes in, and then we will resume on Wednesday and this Friday and keep it going for the next 2 weeks so that we know exactly how to build business viability. I am so excited. And yes, I'm still drinking my water. I have to. You better drink your water and mind your business. All right. All right. So let's get into it. People, I have missed you. Okay, so let's see here. Now, you'll remember that we were talking about the line of business, correct? And we know what the strategic implementation plan is. Now, remember, there has not been any suggestions for any particular line of business that you want me to go over. We can do that. Please feel free to email that to me, to DM that information to me, to comment on one of my IGTV videos with a suggested line of business so that we can directly handle the type of line of business that you intend to engage, okay? All right. And we know that for the example, I'm using the restaurant and or food truck. And excuse me, we've entitled it the Strategic Implementation Plan for Sydney's Farm. That's my baby that I wish to have one day, a bed and breakfast. Let's see here. And we discussed that foremost, we need to make sure that we have listed our line of business. And then we go first, second, and thirds, right? First things first, second and thirds. We go to the back to them statutes. We have learned over and over, I have iterated and reiterated the importance of the North Carolina General Statutes or any statutory law for any respective state as it relates to your choice of line of business. If you are ignorant of the law, is that a defense? No. No, it's not. Unfortunately, I don't agree with it. I'm pretty sure most of America doesn't agree with it, but that's the unilateral, we'll call it, contract, legally speaking. All right, anywho. So in my particular case with my example, we're dealing with North Carolina General Statutes, Chapter 130, and I know this is like a bobblehead. I'm like in the... I know you love this, but anywho. Okay, so 130A and Section 248 through 250 specifically are in regards to food and restaurant services, or more specifically, we have 15A, and this is for the codification for the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. This is very important, okay? And you can look it up, you can print it out, you can not print it out and save a tree and save our lives. Yeah, because they clean the air that we breathe. Right. You know I'm a scientist. Anywho, it is very, very important that you have a saved copy in some regard so you can always reference it. You don't have to be a lawyer, as I've said a million times over, to fully comprehend the plain language of most of these statutes. Truly and honestly, most of the statutes are just that plain. Why? Because ignorance is not a defense. You see what I mean? Right. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. So if it's not a defense, then they have to, quote unquote, make the legal language plain so that generally we all can understand it and enter into the unilateral contract. Okay, let me stop playing. Anyway, all right, so let's move forward. And what we were handling, and you know what, if anybody comments, your big old head and you didn't do your eyebrows, don't say nothing. Don't. I'm doing many things at once. And this is what you get today. I had to wash my face. I had to wash the hot sweat and running around and doing delightful, positive city building work today with the community. So this is what you get. Natural. All right? Okay. So the next thing after you have identified your general statutes or all applicable governing law and codification. So that's city code, okay, which is also municipal code. If you hear that, that's the same thing, all right? And the guiding or prevailing law, which is normally the statutory, hence state law, okay? And then oftentimes there's also prevailing, which would be prevailing over what? Right, statutory law, prevailing federal law. And there are some applications to that with regards to the USDA. I can provide that information in our Wednesday viewing, okay? But generally speaking, you have enough information that is sufficient to go ahead and move forward with your organizational structure and itemization of the different components for your strategic implementation plan. All right. So we got about 2 more minutes and we will be able to cover the last 2 things basically that we went over. And that was cost of goods sold. And this was a comprehensive organizational chart for that. Okay. We have the top tier. We handled them. Each one of these cost of goods sold, each one of these components, whatever we have, whatever cost for us to sell our goods, right? It shall be listed in a box, okay? Individually. And then under each box, you have the itemization of what that would entail, okay? So that you are completely clear about every step that you need to implement in order to ensure business viability and longevity. Because this is about legacy building, people. That's what I am about. That's what I am rooting for. I want us to have economic legacy. And I won't be happy until we are there. Okay? All right. So we've got insurance, right? You're going to need insurance when you're dealing with food and human service, human health, right? Environmental services, not so much as the technical science of the environment per se, okay? Not the natural sciences, the natural applied sciences, right? We're talking about more so with sanitation, waste, right? Okay? Contamination, how we're handling food, right? Okay. And I believe that I am just about out of time, so we got to hurry this up. When it hits 6:41, that's it, yo. Okay, so commercial lease, right? So under insurance, you have business insurance, liability. You may even have vehicle insurance for the food truck. It's going to be necessary. I can't see why not. Okay, you got the commercial truck because you also drive that truck around the city to get to the locations where you perch to sell your food, right? Okay, so commercial lease. You're going to either lease your truck. I don't recommend that. I run it on the principle, oh no man. I own both of my vehicles. I bought them from auctions. I wish that for you, but it may not be as feasible considering all. Okay. So you may lease a truck, restaurant space. That may be your reality. Truck, restaurant space, turnkey. Are you going to have hood? Are you going to have implements? Are you going to have to buy that from the auction or what? What are you going to have to do? Okay. Last but not least, and we're going to continue and build upon this on Wednesday. Licensure, right? What are we going to need? Sanitation. We've got the grade. We need occupancy, right? Maybe we need licensure because we're also selling liquor and wine at this restaurant or from this food truck. Okay. So we are up to date. We have done our review. I will see you on Wednesday, people. Yes.